Carrick-a-Rede Rope Bridge. The Carrick-a-Rede Rope Bridge is in Northern Ireland. The 65-foot-long bridge bounces as you walk across it, making people a little bit nervous. Interestingly though, fishers on the island have been using this bridge for over 350 years. Carrick-a-Rede is an ancient Gaelic name that translates to rock on the road. In 1755, these men built this bridge connecting the mainland over to the fishing spot. The bridge is mostly at risk of swinging in high winds or simply too much foot activity there, but there is a giant causeway that attracts tourists from all over the world. Also, the area was featured in Game of Thrones in Season 2. Titleist Cliff Walk Suspension Bridge. This bridge sits proudly in the Swiss Alps of Switzerland. It's a 328-foot-long and 3-foot-wide bridge that gives breathtaking views of the Titleist Cliff Walk, which suspends over a jaw-dropping 640-foot chasm. The bridge hangs from steel cables and is nearly 10,000 feet above sea level and 500 meters above the ground. It costs a good £1 million to put up this structure, and this record-breaking bridge is the highest suspension bridge in all of Europe. There's actually several spots to take in superb views of the mountain, including a trip from an underground tunnel into a glacier cave and the magnificent Sudden Finster viewing platform where you can take some pretty cool pictures. This still presents some risks though. It's a high enough point where if you fall off, the snow isn't really going to cushion your fall that well. And of course, rickety bridges, kinda scary. Aiguille du Midi Bridge. The Aiguille du Midi Bridge is a pathway to one of the more beautiful places in the world. It sits in the stunning summit in the French Alps. Just between the aerial tram station and the other parts in the mountain range, you can access this bridge using cable cars. While it was constructed in 1955, which earned it the title of highest cable car, it's one of the scariest of bridges. While it may not be the highest gondola at this point, it's still recognized as the highest vertical ascent cable in the entire world. This cable car gives you access to the mountain view, a cafe, and a gift shop. It also has a footbridge where tourists can have access to views of the mountain. If you're one for adventure, you should try this bridge. Kota Intan Hanging Bridge. In Balam Valley, Indonesia, just above the Wamena River, is the Kota Intan Hanging Bridge. This bridge is pretty unstable, so unstable that you feel like it might collapse at any moment. Thankfully though, this bridge isn't nearly as high as some of the other entries on this list, so the risk of dying via fall is somewhat mitigated. Still terrifying though. The bridge itself is made of wood and vines, so that doesn't inspire much confidence. They constructed initially to provide quick alternative transportation for crossing the river. Langkawi Sky Bridge. Wrapped around the forested mountains of Malaysia is the jaw-dropping Langkawi Sky Bridge. It gives a spectacular view from any height. This 6-mile hike crosses from Kang to Singkang. It's a 410-foot curved transparent pedestrian cable-stayed bridge completed over in 2005. The bridge hangs at a height of 2,170 feet above sea level. To access the bridge, you'd first have to use the cable car at the top station. It's even counted among the longer cable-stayed bridges in the world. Not only is this bridge magnificent, it's actually so high that only people with tough skin can walk through this bridge. This bridge, though, is only about partially open after being closed since 2013 for renovation. Quepos Bridge. Popularly called the Bridge of Death, this rickety old wooden-type bridge is one of the more dangerous, making it to the list of the world's top 10 most dangerous bridges, and you can just see why. Quepos Bridge was situated in Costa Rica. To tourists who pass through this bridge, it looks like something on the verge of collapse if one pedestrian should walk across. But over in the early 1930s, the Quepos Bridge was used to deliver bananas from one region to another. It's said that the Bananera Company built this bridge to deliver bananas to different regions in Costa Rica. Although at first glance this bridge would scare you, it's thankfully not as rickety as it looks. The Quepos Bridge can carry you to the other side safely, you just gotta walk across it yourself. Deception Pass Bridge. Taking the title of one of the most spectacular bridges in the world, the structure of the Deception Pass Bridge is stunning. However, as usual, it's pretty scary. Located in Washington, this bridge is a 1,487-foot walkway which is about 28 feet wide. One of the more terrifying parts of crossing this bridge on foot by car is that the fog will prevent you from seeing what's ahead. Though the bridge is perfectly stable, the fog is so intense that pedestrians and drivers have a challenging time seeing what's right in front of them. Right at the edge of the bridge is a narrow pedestrian path that makes the fog even more intimidating and spooky to walk through.
Now it's time for the day's best pick.
This bridge is technically the most dangerous bridge, and you probably wouldn't want to cross it. Alam Bridge. Hanging high over the Gilgit River, this wooden suspension bridge is notoriously known for being the scariest bridge in the world. Located in Pakistan, this bridge links the Baltistan River to the rest of the country. You wouldn't want to make the adventure through this bridge, as only a rat net of cables are keeping this bridge together. To make it even more terrifying, this crossing bridge was built using a combination of iron rods and wood. It spans a length of 984 feet and hangs over a huge chasm. Both Chinese and Pakistani engineers came together to construct this bridge. Alam Bridge is an infamous bridge constructed in 1978 to enable people in Pakistan to move easily over the river to other parts of the country. Nowadays, regional authorities watch over the crossing to make sure cars and lorries don't drive over a certain speed limit through the bridge. In fact, vehicles weighing over 20 tons are not allowed to cross the bridge. This is due to one truck actually going through and getting stuck. Vitim River Bridge. The Vitim River Bridge is probably the most terrifying bridge in the world, like I've said before. Once upon a time, this bridge was a train track for some locals living in Siberia. Today, though, this bridge lies mostly abandoned and neglected. Just above the Vitim River, this bridge has no railings or nets. The bridge is pretty much a recipe for disaster, and if you're not one for taking scary adventures, I wouldn't suggest it. It's an old metal structure covered with rotting wooden planks that are slippery due to frequent snow and ice. Only a handful of people have managed to cross this bridge and live to tell the tale. A Facebook page was even set up to recognize the 34 people who crossed the bridge and didn't make it. What's even more terrifying is that it's constantly iced over throughout the year and is barely wide enough for one singular car.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge.
Hussaini Hanging Bridge. Known as the oldest bridge in Pakistan, the famous Hussaini Hanging Bridge hangs right above the river. This suspension bridge is built entirely of rope and thin planks of wood. Interestingly enough, it was built to connect regions of northern Mexico together since they were separated by the lack of roads. The Hussaini Bridge is so scary that it was titled the most dangerous bridge in Pakistan. This is due to its current conditions and how long it is. Takes a really long time for anyone to cross this bridge, to say the least. See you all next time!